What's going on? It's your boy Mateo Makes Moves. We're back with another video. Today I'm going to break down the 8 movements that are foundational to a great training program. Maybe you guys are missing some of these exercises in your training program and you're struggling seeing results in the gym, or maybe you're just looking to improve on the current program you have, or just improve your knowledge of your body and how to create an effective exercise program. So today I'll break down the 8 movements, explain how you can create an exercise library of over 1,000 of exercise just from these 8 movements. Okay, so each one of them breaks down into working different body parts, and I'll go into these movements in more detail with which body parts they're working, the exact muscles they're working, how to change some different variables to affect different performance metrics, for example, speed, power, strength, and those things. But for now, I'm just going to break down the movements, explain to you guys how it can help you out in the gym. Okay, first off, I have the 8 listed. We have push, pull, rotation, squat, hinge, lunge, carry, and gate. Okay, so these are the 8 movements that will be foundational to you getting better in the gym, moving better as a human being, and really maximizing your potential while limiting your weaknesses, because this pretty much encompasses the entire human body and how we move. Okay, so first off, we have the push. It breaks down into 2 different types of movements. We have a horizontal push, like a push-up or a bench press, and a vertical push, similar to a dumbbell shoulder press or a handstand push-up. That would be your vertical press. So out of the 8 movements, these now break down into further categories, and again, this is how you create a great exercise library or a great training program. You want to have one of each in every program, right? Maybe not on the same day, maybe on the same day. And then again, that you have to account different variables when you make a program to decide if you want it on the same day, a horizontal push and a vertical push, or if you just want to break it up into separate days. And again, I'll go into more detail on that. But the same thing with the pull. You have a horizontal pull, like your dumbbell row or your cable row. However I change my orientation to the ground is going to affect the exercise a bit, but essentially it's going to be working the same muscles regardless, right? For the most part. You then have your rotation. This can be like a standing rotation, right? You see some people that do standing rotations as a warm-up. This is part of your movement, right? But then I can also rotate from my from a supine position where I'm on my back and I'm doing more of a Russian twist, right? Or I can rotate my hips. That's also rotation. Again, this is how it just breaks down into further movements, but we'll go into that more. Squats. With our squats, basically a squat is just a folding motion where your head and your feet are coming closer together, right? Your butt is coming closer to your heels and your shoulders are coming closer to your hips, right? The hip joint and the shoulder joint. So it's a fold, essentially. So you can do a squat, a single leg squat. You guys can do a hack squat. You can do a leg press. All of those motions are the same, basically, again, working the same muscles because you're doing the same motion of a squat, up and down, extending and flexing at the knee and hip joint at the same time. Your hinge is primarily a hip movement. Now this is pushing your hips back. Pretty much you want to think of a door hinge when you're doing this. And I'll tell you this, guys, it's been very helpful for me as a trainer and in the gym for myself to visualize a lot of these things and be a lot more visual when it comes to exercise. So for example, a door hinge, I just think of moving in this direction. So this is how I try to imagine moving my hips whenever I'm hinging, whether it's a RDL, a deadlift, whether it's a hip thrust, a glute bridge. Those are all hinges at the hips. Okay. A lunge. Pardon my friend. Now a lunge. A lunge is a single leg movement, right? Let me correct that. Now for the lunge, you're in a split stance, right? And so the weight will be offset or loaded onto different legs at different times in the movement. But you can do a side lunge, you can do a forward lunge, you can do a reverse lunge, right? All of these movements, a step up is considered a lunge, right? So all of these movements are part of the spectrum of a lunge, and again, this is how it breaks down into multiple exercises just from knowing this one movement pattern, right? A carry. Now if you carry, you can carry and lunge. Now this is a great point to emphasize that you can combine 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these movements in one movement, one exercise, to create a compound movement or create a combination movement. So these are different techniques and ways that you can spice up your exercise routine, challenge your body physically and mentally, because the more you add, the more difficult it becomes. And a carry. So your carry, and your gait. Your gait is a walking. So as you're moving opposite arm, opposite leg in synchronicity, you have internal muscular subsystems that are working at the same time. So you have your you have neurons that fire at the same time in your body simultaneously that are movement patterns. Again, these are movement patterns. So typically when you step your left foot forward and you move your right hand forward at the same time, your body is so used to that movement and it moves as like a machine, that's an efficient movement for us as humans. That's why we walk that way. Our body wants to conserve energy and not waste energy. So that movement right there, at those same time, those muscles fire off simultaneously on a daily basis. So we can train these movement patterns and train these muscular subsystems to increase our coordination, in turn increasing our power and strength internally, right? So this is just, again, your gait. You can do it while you're holding dumbbells, you can do it while you're holding a barbell, you can carry overhead while you walk, while you gait, and this is how you combine multiple of these movements, of these 8, into one routine. So today I hope this helped you guys out a bit, help you build the foundation of your training programs and your exercise selection, give you guys more creativity in the gym and freedom of movement, because now you guys understand the 8 total types of movement our body allows us to do. Now we can change the planes, right? Like I said, a side lunge, now that's in the frontal plane as opposed to a forward lunge, which is in the sagittal plane. So that's it. What happened?
Battery's low.
So what, it died?
It's about to. Just trying to say it with
I got you. So make moves or make excuses. You can't do both. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, all of that fun stuff. Like and subscribe if you found value. Send this to a friend that might need help with their exercise routine or training program. I answered in the comments. I'm going to make sure I can help you guys out as much as I can. So thank you so much.